The name is inspired by Dolby noise reduction. Dolby noise reduction cuts out the hiss and makes your tape sound better and your music sound better. Dolby D cuts out the BS and gets straight to the point. Ooh, before hip hop, I was mostly hanging around with reggae men. People listen to reggae music, into dub, skanking. This was like an underground reggae dance back then. A lot different from the skanking you may see in Jamaica, the old man 1 foot type thing. It was a real sort of young guys thing, and there was battles going off then. Around that time as well, he was either a reggae man or a soul head and listen to soul music and do boogie dancing and stuff. There was another underground thing I heard of called jazz fusion, and that was a whole other underground type movement there. But I wasn't committed to any of them. I just happened to hang around a lot of reggae men. But then I moved to New York when I think I was about 12, probably 1981. And from then I just got the hip hop bug. It was on the radio all the time. And around that time, people dressed like what people see as hip hop now, with the fat laces, the Adidas shell toes, the suede pumas, the lumberjack hats, the goose downs, the name plates, the name buckles. That was just the time of the 80s then in New York of dress. And I think people have took that on as a nostalgic thing where they see it as hip hop now. But it was just the way they dressed then and the music. So then I was committed to hip hop from then. But before, I wasn't really into anything in particular. Well, funny enough, I think that was one of my biggest inspirations, in the way that I was into hip hop now, but I was into rap music and wanted to be a rapper and just the music, but I hadn't seen breaking. I'd seen body popping and locking, but I'd never seen breaking. And now I've just come back from New York, and within like a couple of weeks, Top of the Pops is Malcolm McLaren. Like, oh my gosh, what's going on now? If I'd seen that there, I'd have probably never came back. But yeah, so I caught the Malcolm McLaren video on video then the next time it was shown, and I just proceeded to start to practice by myself. I was fortunate enough to have a decent size enough room to practice, but because my friends weren't really into it, those particular friends, I just used to practice on my own. And then I used to be like, okay, watch this. Okay, now watch me. And then they'd be like, what do it look like? And yeah, so that was a very big influence. Well, you're talking moves there. It's not really about moves, it's about movement. So with me, you're gonna get the whole package. You're gonna get complete throwdowns. So I'll come out on the music, I'll go into my thing, do something wild or whatever, and I'll go back. The whole complete thing. Some people used to come out there and tee up and go for a head spin, and no, it's not like that. It is a dance. It's just that you've got to be funky like James Brown and be able to do stunts like Jackie Chan. Okay. But it's the both. It's not one or the other. Well, the battle is the cutting edge of what we do. So we're all practicing with your friends, happy shiny people holding hands and patting each other on the bum when they do a nice little move. But it's different out there in the clubs, under the strobe lights, with the crowd and the people and the cigarette butts and the empty beer cans. It's a lot different out there. Plus the crowd mainly. Back then we didn't have internet and all that sort of stuff, and mobile phones with cameras on them and all that sort of stuff. So the street news got carried from the people that were there and saw. So the battle was what I lived for and what it was all about. For instance, now there's a lot of paid competition battles, which is great, and I think that's the way it should be. But then the battle was rock until you drop, until it's over. So that's the cutting edge, I think, of what we do. But at the end of the day, it is a dance, and you feel the music. It's the dance of the break. The break, the whole hip-hop thing, the whole keeping that wild part of the record going continuously and seamlessly. The whole scratch mixing thing, the whole MCs on top of it, that whole vibe makes you want to break, if you see what I mean. That leads to the dance. It just happens to me, I think, to be a bit more special because of the wildness. the whole breaking of it, the whole going off of it. Oh my God, did you see what he just did? But to just come out there and do that, you're an acrobat, or you're a circus freak or something. But if you set it up right and you get in the music and then all of a sudden it comes out, boom, and you land a certain way, and that's breaking. Ooh, that was the thing at the time. I mean, when I got into breaking, the whole dance scene in London was very big. Like I said, the soul and the boogie, the jazz funk, you'd often find them at the same sort of club. The reggae sound systems, things were going also on a sort of separate scene. But when I stepped on, I've come in with the hip hop wave movement sort of thing. So back those days, the all dayers, they'd be great. So that's where I actually made my name first, at an all dayer. I was I think I just turned 14 at the time. And like my friend used to go to clubs, he was the same age as me, but he looked older. And he used to tell me about these things and these clubs and these legends and everything. But as I said, hip hop wasn't a thing then. The boogie guys, the jazz dancers, and I know the reggae guys, they talk about certain skankers that were good. And so I was sort of in and around it, but it was one summer holiday now, and there was an all-dayer at Electric Ballroom, which is one of the big dance clubs. In fact, this was, I think, was the biggest dance club in London at the time for soul, boogie, electro, jazz, and they had a really dope underground jazz funk room. But this was the club. Electric Ballroom was the club. So summer holidays now. I'm with my friend, and he's with all his older brothers and his friends, and they're saying, we're going to this thing, come along. I'm like, I'm not going to get in, I'm too young, I even look younger than I am. He goes, no, just come, we'll get you in. So there's like 15 people going up there. And I thought, I'll just go up West End, because I've never been up there before, and just to go, if I go and get in, I'll just go back, it's cool, whatever. But a really great thing happened then, because we went up to the door, and the guy immediately said, no, he can't come in, he's too young. But they all stood firm and said, no, but if he ain't coming in, we ain't coming in. Yeah? And he's like, no, he can't come in. So then we've all gone and stood near the door, but away from it. And everyone stood firm. Certain people broke ranks, yeah, and said, no, there's too many girls in there, we got to come in, yeah? But most man stayed with me. So then the guy who was on the booth at the time came out, and he said, okay, we're going to let him in, but if he drinks, he's out. I said, no, I don't drink. So now I'm in the club. Like, whoa. I've been practicing in my bedroom by myself for like, I don't know, maybe 6 months or something. So I wasn't that great or anything, but I was putting in my work. And my friend was saying, you're going to do it, you're going to do it. And I'm like, because I didn't think I was good or anything. I'm like, no, if someone does it, I'll do it. But I'm not just going to roll around the floor in front of girls, you know what I mean? But if someone does it, I'll do it, yeah? So we're in the club now. And back then, it wasn't a hip-hop club. So it's mostly soul. And then you'd have like an hour of electro. And the jazz room was always the jazz room, a smaller room upstairs. And I'm looking around, I see the jazz room. The jazz room was a sweatbox. It was so hot. I saw a battle in the jazz room. Battles were nothing. In the skanking, in the jazz, battles were just a thing. So that wasn't a big deal to me. I understood what that meant. But I saw a battle with this guy. And he became one of my crew later on. He was a young jazz dancer, and he had a battle with this guy, and he had Adidas Gazelles on, red Gazelles at the time. And he's dancing, and he's gone boom like that, and he stepped out of one shoe, and he stepped out of the other shoe like that. He's dropped down to his knee like that, and he's come back in, he's put that shoe on, The place has gone mad, yeah? Absolutely nuts, yeah? So I was like, wow. And then I'm watching the soul guys do their thing, and I'm just watching like, oh, this is really cool and everything. Now, there's that hour of electro. So now it's almost like the whole dance floor changes. Yeah, different people emerge, little circles start popping off. I've gone mingling around a sort of bigger circle I see, and there's a little battle going off. With Diamond Headed Dennis, he was one of the good dancers at the time. He was in Micron crew later on, and someone else. So they were mainly popping in that at first. I used to pop a bit, but I wasn't really that into it. But, you know, you do it for fun and whatnot. But I didn't take it seriously, really. I'm really on the breaking thing. So my friends was like, you're going to do it, go and do it. I goes, no, they ain't even gone down yet. So boom, in the battle, someone goes down, and he done a little bit of footwork and a little bit of freeze or something, and I was like itching to get in there. So then the other guy's gone down and done something. So now the other guy's come in and he's done something, and then the other guy, he's just sort of stopped like, oh, and everyone's going, oh. So now I come in like, oh, and I'm give it to him. So now there's more people coming. He's come out again. I've gone in again, riled him up. Now it's so crowded now, they pushed me out of the circle and everyone out of the circle to see what's going on. Yeah? So now I come out of the circle and I've gone to my friend, what did it look like? He goes, yeah, it looked proper. Whereas previously he's been saying to me, no, it doesn't look like that. He goes, no, it looked good. So now that was cool and everything. And I'll go back and I'm sitting down and like we've got like this big table, just the loads of us, and people coming up to me going, oh, you're gonna do it again, da, da, da. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do it again in a minute, da, 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 da. So next thing you know, the dance floor's changed again to soul. Now it's changed back again to electro. And the DJ at the time, George Powell, and he was the one who actually let me in on the door, he's called out. The guy was doing the breaking thing again, would you come out and do it again for us on the mic? Looked at my friend like, really? Yeah, so now everyone's going, yeah. And I was like, whoa. So just sort of laughing and that, just having a drink. And he's come back on again, like, will you come out and do it for us? If you come out and do it for us, we'll give you £5. And in them days, we had pound notes then and half pennies, yeah? £5. I was already trying to finish my drink. So then the crowd was kind of rowdy then. He's going, no, give him more. So he's going, we'll give you £20. So I'm like, yo, I'm coming. By the time I've come out now, I'm coming out, I'm being led out with like the 15 man that I was with, coming out like a boxer in the crowd, yeah? By the time I've come out now, he's gone, if you come out, we'll give you £50. The crowd's going mad. I'm coming out now, they're going, he's here, like that. So I've gone up to the DJ, and he's gone, go on then. I goes, what do you mean, go on, you said £50. Yeah, so now I've got like these big guys with me, and like loads of them, and they didn't even say no, they just looked at him like, so he's gone, yeah. He's giving me £15. I goes, you said 50, man. He goes, what, you're gonna hold me to that? I'm like, yeah. So he's dug in his pocket now, and he's gone, all I got is 45, would you do it for that? I was like, yeah, I'll do it for that. So I took the money, and I've looked around now from the stage. I couldn't do it on the stage, there wasn't any room really, I had to do it on the floor. I've looked now, and the whole floor is packed looking at me, yeah? And I've given my friends my keys and the money and stuff like, whoa. And I've looked upstairs now where there's like a corner and there's glass where the jazz room is. And there's people on top of people looking down to see. I was like, whoa, this is heavy. So I've gone out on the dance floor now like, okay, you got to move back, let me do my thing. And I was doing my thing for what it was worth then, blah, blah, blah. Even the guy who I had a battle with, he was coming in to give me a rest sometimes. And to the point where I was like, okay, no more. And he was like, hey, thanks. I've gone back, sat down with the people. I'm getting drinks bought for me. I was saying like, no, I don't drink. And then my friend's like, no, take it. Yeah, rum and coke, Bacardi, and it's just drinks along the line. So this is like the beginning of school holidays, magical summer of '83. Yeah. So that night now, the dance floor's changed again, and it's getting later, so there's less people in it. There's a few poppers and stuff going on when the electro comes on again. And I see this one guy and I says, oh, you're quite good at popping and that. He goes, oh, you're quite good at breaking. Where are you from? America? No, I'm from South London. So he goes, oh yeah, we're from London too. We have a crew. And let me introduce you to them. And so boom, he's introduced me to my first crew, the Sidewalk crew. And from then he said to me, there's this place where you go, this mystical, magical place where you can make money from dancing. You should come along with us. So the very next day I met them, and then I'm up Covent Garden. And now I'm busking like 8-10 shows a day for the whole summer. And I'm taking home like anything between £30 to sometimes like £80 in change. Like I'm walking home like I pooed myself, chinking like that because I've got change in every pocket, yeah? Daily, summer. Next thing you know, someone's approached us to be on the pilot episode of TVAM on ITV. Boom, that's another X amount. Now we've asked to do a Channel 4 special. Then we're asked to be on BBC 2, Black on Black. And then shows are coming in and it's all crazy and it all happened like in one crazy summer holiday.